Hello, this episode is about a tragic World War II freak and unlucky accident, and its story is generally not known even in my hometown of Weston-super-Mare. I first found out about this when reading about it at the Crash Locations coffee shop a few years ago. On the night of January the 25th, 1941, RAF pilot Flight Lieutenant Thomas Patrick Delarue in his Fairey Battle Mark I P6764 of the No. 1 Flying Training School departed RAF Netheravon, Wiltshire, England. This flight was 75 miles as the crow flies, and it was to drop off a passenger at St Athan in South Wales, and then return back to Netheravon. Fairey battles at this point of the war had found new roles with pilot training and target towing, and this is after having shown operating on the front lines it was already outdated and outclassed as a light bomber. So after dropping off his passenger at St Athan, Delarue set off in nighttime low cloud and low visibility conditions back to Netheravon. I would guess he kept it as low as possible over the Bristol Channel, possibly using the islands of Steepholm and Flatholm as important waypoints. On approaching Weston-super-Mare, he would need to avoid some immediate high ground, as you can see here, Sand Point, Western Woods and Breen Down. I expect his intentions after the straight lining it from St Athan were to go left or right with the Western Woods over Sand Bay or Western Bay. And you can see in these images, in clear conditions the hill, quarry and rock face stand out, but in this case, obviously they didn't. Under poor conditions, the aircraft flew straight into the vertical main rock face of the Western Old Town Quarry. It exploded on impact and Delarue was killed instantly and had no chance at all. The burning wreckage dropped into tar barrels and a huge fire engulfed the nearby blacksmith shop building. Most certainly this was a poor weather accident. There may have been problems with the aircraft, or he may have had a medical issue, but we will never know. However, this may have been avoided if he'd just been a few feet higher or been on a heading a couple of degrees left or right of the quarry face and Western Woods. So the quarry is shut at the moment, and you can see here doing some refurbishment of the CAF and some art galleries and stuff that's going to be in there. It's a nice space when it was open. And look at that, how unlucky hitting that on this hill. Right, as we can't get in, let's have a look over the wall, see what we can see. There you go. So here we are at Milton Road Cemetery. There's some Commonwealth war graves. Amazing place to visit if you're in Weston-super-Mare. Amazing as graveyards can be. And go and check out the grave of Thomas Patrick. As I said, quite a place. You get a real view of Weston, the surrounding areas. The Mendip's over there. Just see the wheel on the seafront. And Thomas' crash was roughly over that way somewhere, about half a mile away as the crow flies. And this is the Commonwealth War Graves area, where he's buried. There's a real selection of military graves here. Interestingly, there's some Luftwaffe ones here. And, sorry about the pronunciation, but Erich and Matthias, they died in a Heinkel 111 that was shot down by a Beaufighter in Hewish. And that's an interesting story as well. Also got some Polish guys. And just along here, our man himself. There he is. T.P. Delarue, pilot, Royal Air Force, 25th of January 1941. Thanks for watching. This episode was made in Thomas's remembrance and to all the thousands of pilots who perished during World War II in non-combat flying.